is the Glass Cannon Network.
Good evening, everybody. Welcome back to Get in the Trunk! Tuesday night hijinks here on the Glass Cannon Network. My name is Joe O'Brien. I am joined today by a spectacular cast of thrilling performers that really take it to the next level week in and week out for me here. And I just want to say thank you. Thank you to you guys. Because, you know, McD and I, we put a lot of work in on this thing, but it's you that carries it. It's you week in and week out with all of your idiosyncrasies and lunatic ways of dealing with criminal activity that really elevate the comedy of the show to a level I couldn't possibly achieve on my own. No, it is great to get back together with you guys and start playing at this, the greatest time of the year. We're back. Football's back.
Yes.
School's back in session.
Yes.
My kids are off to school.
Get them out.
Wonderful.
Get them out.
Get them out of my house.
It's just the best. Francis, are you, how were you in school? Like as a kid, did you like school? Were you good at school?
Oh yeah, no, I was a nerd. I enjoyed school to a point. Everything except the math.
You enjoyed school in sixth grade. You were like, can't wait to get to school.
Yeah, it was pretty sad. Yeah, I was because I mean, you know, I spent all my time at home, like, you know, watching cartoons and playing with action figures. There were actually people I could play with at school, so I was like, yeah, dude, it's on. Like, otherwise, like, my sisters were just not having it. They just weren't into, you know, video games and the action figures like I was.
Action figures.
Yeah.
Right. Did you get good grades like throughout? Were you like an A high school student?
I'd say no, not in high school. Up until high school, I was doing great, and then it all fell apart in high school.
Then it all collapsed.
All went to crap.
What about you, Sydney? Were you a good kid in school, or were you a troublemaker?
No, I was very good. Despite what a lot of people might think, I was very determined to get good grades, and I was like a straight A student, Dean's List student. Why would we not
think that? I would naturally assume that.
Would you, Skid?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, maybe Troy and Joe would
Sydney
not.
is trying to put on the vibe of the rebel, of the anti-authoritarian, but no, she's drinking the Kool-Aid just like
I think I discovered early on that if you simply get good grades, nobody bothers you. So like,
true, you can commit crimes and get away with them if you get good grades.
Yeah, they're like, but she's a straight A student. There's no way she could have mugged this person. Absolutely not.
No, you can be guilty. You can be guilty of the crime, and like, you're wrong. She's a straight A student.
Yeah,
like, you know what? Okay.
I think my like toxic trait is I actually like learning and I enjoy it. And if it didn't cost money, like I'd go back to school, like I'd go get a master's and stuff because I really like learning. But I think it's
very
maybe
toxic.
similar to you, Francis. It's very toxic.
That's gross.
Similar to you, Francis.
Yeah, well, I'm sorry. Why is that toxic?
You better see someone about that. That's horrible.
Because I'm feeding into the system, like you said, Joe.
Yeah.
I'm promoting going to college, which I don't think
you're just another brick in the wall. Yeah.
Yeah.
Right on.
What were you going to say to Francis? I apologize.
I was going to say, I think in high school, though, I felt very like, I know what I'm doing. Like, I don't need this. Like, I'm a pretty smart kid. And now looking back, I'm like, man, I probably was such a shit to some teachers because I was a really good student, but I just like wouldn't do my homework or like wouldn't do this. But I would kind of give like, but I'm good for it. Wink, you know.
Like, I don't need to do this homework like these other idiots.
These idiots.
Like, come on, teach. You know what's up.
You know me.
Well, all of you probably know and are aware, because he says it constantly, that Troy is a graduate student of Columbia University, which leads me to believe he must have been knocking it out of the park with those grades up there in Boston. Are you an A student?
Yeah, I was straight A's like all the time because of my obsessive personality, knowing that 100% was an option. Because that's how school works.
That makes sense for school.
Anything less than 100 was failure to me. So like, if I got a 99, I would sit there and stare at the paper to figure out what I did wrong, so that would never happen again.
Slash the teacher's tires.
Yeah.
How dare you?
You're like calling him at home, like, listen, I think you need to rethink this right now. 99.9.
You come home with your report card, it's 99, and you like show your parents and you're like, I'll lock myself in my room. Good night, mother. Good night, father.
Don't worry, I'll punish myself.
I was straight A's all through like maybe junior year in high school, and then I just had other interests, and then by the time I got to college I was like, this is ridiculous. And then when I did get into grad school, I got into grad school like March of my senior year, and so I was like, why do I need to do my thesis? I'm going to Columbia. I was just like, fuck this. I mean, I remember going, I like waited till my senior year to take the science requirement, because it was a liberal arts school, so you had to take all your requirements. So I was like, fuck, what am I doing? All right, I gotta, because I was double major, so I was always tied up in all these other credits. So I was like, fuck, I'll take biology. I had to take one semester of biology. I did not go to a single class, and I stayed up all night long reading the textbook and teaching myself biology just so I could take the final, and I passed the final and made it out of there. But I mean, it was just so funny how I started out like perfect attendance. I was never allowed to miss school unless I was like violently ill, straight A's, all until like I discovered like women, sports, and then parties.
And
Women, sports, parties. What about you, Skid? Were you a goody in school, or were you a troublemaker?
Yeah, I was like through elementary school. I was very good, and then I fell in with a bad crowd in middle school, and I started just stealing cars and breaking into
just beating kids up on the street, like riding.
That's
bikes.
Actually true. We did steal a car.
What?
And I guess that was actually ninth grade. That was ninth grade. We
like
stole
you hot wired a car?
No, they left the keys in it. My neighbors, they had a Porsche 911, and
so clearly it was their fault.
My friend Chris dropped acid. It's like, let's go steal that car, and we did. We're 15 years old, and he's on acid driving a stolen Porsche around the neighborhood, and roll in the back, and ran along with it. Yeah, it was a blast. They still don't know.
Oh, you just brought it back. They had no idea.
Wow. He was on acid. Where is this hero now? Good Lord.
Yeah, I know. I miss him. I miss that guy.
The legend.
He's gone, Francis.
Yeah, the guy, he used to like, well, I've talked about him before because he was like the cool kid who decided to play D&D with us, and it just like elevated all of our social standings like instantly. Just like he was just like, oh, that looks fun. Like, I'll play with you. And he was a skater, and like, cool.
He was a skater boy?
Yeah, and he got girls, and he could steal cars and stuff. So, but he would drop acid and play, and he'd decorate, because we played in my mom's attic, and he dropped acid. He decorated my mom's attic while we were playing one time, and we kept it that way. He just put all the like Christmas lights up with like throwing tinsel on and everything. And I kept looking at it, and he's just like, just keep going, and he just decorated the whole thing, and it was cool because it looked like the bunker in Platoon, in the movie Platoon.
Oh my God.
And we were so thrilled with it. I miss that guy.
He's like a real life Eddie Munson.
That's right.
That's great.
And he was the only one on acid in the car?
Yeah. Oh yeah. He was. None. The rest of us were too afraid.
It was just your D&D group in the back seat, like
basically, yeah. Not much in the back seat, but we.
Did you guys have a conversation about who would drive? Like I don't know. Chris, you should drive.
Chris was the alpha. There was no way anyone else was taking that wheel.
That's hilarious.
That's amazing. None of the people not on acid even suggested that any of them should drive.
No, well, it was like no one had a license, so it was like, might as well let the guy on acid. He seems the most confident.
He's got this.
He's got this. It was
That
so
is
fun.
amazing.
It was a very fun day.
Oh, wow.
Speaking of confidence, Neil showed some really either spectacular confidence or just perhaps lost his mind. I mean, I think that perhaps singing this song that you found, the strange lyrics and notes within Abigail Wright's apartment last week, might have been the equivalent of just dropping acid, because suddenly you did it, and Neil feels this incredible urge to dart upstairs and re-enter the night floors. This is a wild week last week. It starts kind of slow with going to the library, a classic research episode, a Cthulian research episode. Vicky and Roger in the library, kind of strangely growing closer together. BT dubs. And they're finding out all this. I couldn't imagine a more romantic date than reading about known serial child murderer Asa Darabandi. But they find out all this horrible shit about the guy who's the architect behind the McAllister building, that he was building thought buildings in the early 1900s in Chicago, and then suddenly moves to New York. He lives in a hotel, which Vicky seems to identify as being off of Madison Square Park by a sneaky little reflection in a window she picked up in a picture. It's a very there is not a lot of information about the hotel or why he was staying at the hotel, but he was staying there for free because he was renovating it, and he was an architect that was redesigning this hotel and forwent his fees so that he could live there. You guys find this stuff out, but then the library starts to close. Obviously, Roger almost gets in a fight with the New York Public Library librarian and the security
at the library.
Yeah, and the security guard. But the funny thing is, Vicky's right there with him. It's about to be a tag team match. She's standing there like, let's get in there. Both of them are all fired up that they can't take these books about Asa Darabandi out of the library. But cooler heads prevail. They leave and try to find the Hotel Broadalbin on Madison Square Park, around 25th Street in Manhattan, between 23rd and 25th and Broadway. And they can't find it. There's no sign of a building that even used to be a hotel or the Broadalbin. And so they give up and head back to the apartment where they meet up with Neil and Bobby. They find even more disturbing things within the apartment that they log off, that they make put in the log. And I said last week, and I just want to reiterate, I think you as agents feel you have sufficiently logged everything in this woman's apartment. A lot of that stuff didn't air because there's literally hundreds of items that you took pictures of, meticulously logged. But you do feel like you have accomplished this one mission that was given to you by Agent Marcus to make it look good for the FBI. So at some point, you should think about turning these things in to the FBI, at least the things you want to turn in. But when that happens, also be aware that would be the end of your relationship with the FBI, the end of your ability to hold these badges that say you are an advisor of the FBI or a deputized agent in the case of Vicky Ricci. But we're far away from that, because as Neil has this intense urge to re-enter the night floors, because he must capture this for his story that he wants to tell, this film maybe that he wants to make. He darts up the stairs, not darts up the stairs, but he walks confidently up the stairs, followed by Bobby, followed by then Roger and Vicky, and he just opens the roof access door and walks into this lounge area. It appears empty yet again, and Neil just starts popping pictures of everything. The fireplace, the wall of books, the bar, the hallways leading out. And then Neil just picks a hallway at random and starts walking. We end our episode with all four members of the DG team re-entering the night floors and attempting to prop the door back into the McAllister open. As they leave the lounge and begin walking down a hallway, Neil, I believe, Neil is in front, so he is the first to notice a door on his left side, I believe it was, with an engraved sign outside of it that says Night Manager. And then in the back, Roger Comstone, his awareness alertness, always on fire, feels something change behind, maybe a rising of the hairs on the back of his neck. He turns around to see the chair that he had used to prop the door exactly back where it was in the room, and no door at all, just a grandfather clock where it once was. Let's pick it up there. I am going to bring back a slight sort of dim sense of that music. Let's not forget that music is emanating from the smoking lounge, kind of a retro-y 1920s, 1930s kind of jazz sound spills out. And as you're walking away from the smoking lounge, it is lowering slightly in volume. It seems to be centered there, but you can definitely hear it pouring through the halls. What are you gonna do? I don't know. You know what? I guess I'll start with. Let's start with Roger, because he sees something that is rather shocking. So you turn, you see this. What do you do next, Roger?
Walk over to the wall and just feel it. Does anything feel different? Just feels like a solid wall.
Roll a sanity check.
I don't want to.
I don't want to.
Yeah, I mean, this is quite bad. Roger, if you remember, is right at the edge of a break.
Right in the edge.
We're all pretty low.
Sanity is 61. Breaking point is 60. And I rolled a 28.
Ah,
Nice. 28. Okay. You reach out just to touch the wall next to you, and you can feel it feels solid. It feels real.
Knock, 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 knock. Hollow? Stumped you.
Well, I just don't know what check that would be. Like, are you a construction worker? Like, are you like really familiar?
No, but
with...
Troy isn't either, and I can tell if a wall is hollow.
Yeah. Like
they're
hanging on a wall versus banging on a door. They sound different.
Yeah, but maybe not if the walls are made of bricks. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Well, brick, you would know.
Yeah, brick. Yeah. Then it's solid.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
solid.
So it feels solid.
It sounds pretty. It feels solid to you.
And I see Vicky. Do I see Neil and Makeshift?
Yeah, Neil, you guys are all right together, back to back to back.
Okay. And is Neil reaching for this door?
Well, now we can go back to Neil. So what Roger did was just feel the wall to restabilize himself in this new reality, and he feels like it's real, but it's strange. Neil, drawn here to take pictures, stops outside this door and sees this sign. I leave it to you, Skid.
So Neil, he sees this door and the placard on it, and he just like kind of stares at it for a second, lifts up the camera, takes a picture of the sign, pulls out the Polaroid, shakes it a little bit, tucks it into his jacket pocket, and then he reaches for the doorknob.
He reaches down for the doorknob, and it's locked. Is Roger pulling out a weapon?
Yes. What do I have, a banana in my hand or something weird?
Blow!
We're all strapped at this point. We're all strapped.
you're just Acme characters. I shoot a bang gun, a little banner comes out.
That would be really a cool take on it, is if we ended up in like Roger Rabbit.
I was about to say Roger Rabbit, like everything is part
Yeah.
cartoon. I mean, the mannequins and stuff, it's the blood, remember the ticker tape?
Yeah.
Blood.
Yeah.
It feels like that. It feels
There's
like
some
fake.
Roger Rabbit. There's some Toontown to this. You know?
Toontown influence?
Yeah,
Toon-townish.
Toontown influence. Yeah.
If I start hearing, if I look at Roger and he bats his eyelashes and I hear, "Do-do-do-do-do-do," I'm going to scream and run out of the room.
Leaving your eyes behind for a second.
Yeah.
That's good. That's good, Skid. All right, you try the doorknob, and it's just locked.
All right. So then, like, it's almost like he's noticing that everyone else is here for the first time, and he like like turns back and he's looking at Roger. And he like kind of like tilts his head towards the door, like you want a shot at this.
Roger says, "What are you doing, Neil? The fuck are you doing in here, man?"
And he's just kind of almost in a daze, kind of like looking around, and he's like wondering, it just hadn't occurred to him, like, why is he here? He just kind of had to be here.
For now.
Yeah. And he looks back and he sees that the door that they came through is not there anymore. He says, "Well, wise notwithstanding, I guess the only way out is through."
Agent Renau, you're going off script. But now we're stuck in here. So, weapons out.
And you hear the doorknob begins to kind of rattle that you just tried.
Oh.
All
All right, Neil.
And then you
slides
hear
right next to the door.
You hear chunk, the sound of like a deadbolt opening. And then you click, and then and this door slowly opens in. Neil or Roger is hiding just out of sight of the door. Neil, I presume, standing right in front of the door. And as the doorway opens, peering in, you see what looks like a very old man. He's got this sort of shock of straggly white hair and like a white mustache. Imagine like Albert Einstein, kind of like, kind of crazy looking, mussy, thin white hair with a thinning hairline. He's got these big like Coke bottle glasses on that are still like very 90s-ish, but like maybe late 80s, early 90s-ish. That, kind of accentuate his older wrinkles around his eyes. And then he also has these clothes on, though, that seem like from an earlier era, And he just opens up this door slowly and is like, yes, how can I help you?
Roger, without hesitation, gives the notice for everybody to pile in, and Roger storms in, slams this guy up against the wall.
Jesus!
Under his chin. Says, "I'd like to speak to the manager."
And Neil gets a picture of this all happening.
Bobby's backing him up with the cover.
Okay. You guys pour into this room. Let me describe the room to you. Oh, man. And let me bring up the intensity. Jeepers, Roger.
Wow. What
in the
Roger?
fudge stick?
This isn't JFK.
Suddenly, bam! You push into the room. The music really sort of mutes that's coming from the lounge. You push in. You go to the wall with this guy, and it's not too far to the wall. And as you go, boom! Maybe your eyes are focused on him, and he's this frail old man that you just like he succumbs to your physical dominance easily, and it's just like up against the wall, and you got a gun under his neck. The rest of you come pouring into the room. Vicky, Bobby, Neil. You all immediately look around and you see an apartment that is just, super. It just has that old man vibe, a little of that old man smell. There's newspapers just stacked, floor to ceiling in places, all these stained old newspapers. At a quick glance around the walls, there are all these black and white photographs that are hanging on the walls, and there's these little notes under them, and they all appear to be of people in outdoor kind of places. But again, this is all just a very quick glance. It has this old school furniture in it, antique-esque looking furniture, and it's rather messy. There's just like junk kind of all over the place. You see a stand-up old school radio off to Roger's right, where he's jacking this guy up against the wall. And then the apartment continues both to the right and to the left in hallways, but you're kind of in the living room area here. Roger takes this guy to the wall, and this just does not sound right to me. Oh, that's why. Okay, sorry. We picked the wrong music. Roger just goes right to the wall with this guy, and he's like, "Oh, please! Oh, what are you doing? What are you doing?"
What is this place?
This is the McAllister building. It's the McAllister building. And he's closing his eyes. Please don't put the gun to me. Please, I do anything you ask.
Is there a chair? Like an upholstered chair nearby?
Mm-hmm. There's an upholstered, like, 2 waving wooden armchair, like captain's chair arms, upholstered chair nearby.
All right, Roger pulls it into the center of the room so there's no way he could reach for anything, and just points the gun and says, "Sit."
Please, I give you no trouble. Oh, what is it? Why are you breaking into my place? And he starts to sit down. And you can see his clothes are kind of hanging off of him. He's frail and old and doesn't seem like a threat at all. Wide-eyed through his glasses.
Vicky is shocked that Roger did this. This was like not discussed, not talked about, doesn't know what the fuck he's doing.
Who's going off script now?
But she also has her gun out. Like, she was prepared. So she doesn't holster her gun, but she walks up next to Roger, facing this man, and she says, "What's your name?"
My name is Henri de Calvados Castaigne. I am the night manager of the McAllister building.
Wait, was that one of the names on the
clown's name?
Henri was the name of the fucking clown book that I read.
Yeah, Henri Goes to the Park.
Are there windows in this building?
Not in this room. As I said, it continues in both directions out to your, like, where you were facing him up against the wall, to your right and to your left. It continues in both directions. But right now you're in kind of this open room. You push him the short way to the back wall. Across from where you pushed him is the doorway back out to the hallway, and there's like a living area in here.
All right, Roger's going to just say, "Keep a gun on him," and go down one of these hallways to make sure there's nobody else in here.
Oh, no, please. Do not invade my space. This is very, very unusual. And Roger just starts walking out. What is Neil doing?
Neil is like, just kind of cocks his head, and he's just sort of slowly walks into the room. He's looking at this old man. And he says, and he looks at all the pictures on the wall, tries to get like an image of the room, like as he's walking in. Okay, Neil starts looking around, and as you look a little closer at the pictures, you see that he seems to be men mostly. I don't really know if there's any women just yet because everybody's so bundled up. It's all outdoor, and they're all wearing these like heavy parkas and like sun glare goggles, like ski goggles kind of, and they're all kind of like wrapped up so you can barely see their skin, and they look like they're on like mountain tops or like mountain passes and stuff like that. And the notes that you see under them correspond to mountains that you know of in the world. It's like Kilimanjaro and like K2 and like stuff like this, and you get the sense that these are climbing photos. And then as you look around, you see, sure enough, there's like gear, like old school climbing gear hanging on the walls. And at this same time, I'll say, as you're kind of like taking everything in, you can see there's one slightly shorter pile of newspapers that are coming up to you, and there's a newspaper
sitting right on top. And as you look down at it, it says July 1, 1923. So it's like an old school newspaper, and the headline that's blared across it is Russo-Germanic Pact Crumbles. Vienna liberated.
Oh, Jesus. Wow.
This all appears very strange to Neil, who knows a little bit about this history and saw this book about the Russo-Germanic hegemony. Hegemony? Hegemony.
This is an alternate world. Like,
well, what are you doing, Vicky?
well, I don't see that.
No, I know. I'm just curious at this moment. I didn't ask you, are you staying with him, gun on him, or? She
has her gun, not like pointed at his head. She's very uncomfortable with this. This is not protocol, but they've already made this choice, and she's very familiar with like order of operations, and she can't back down from this. This man could be dangerous. They've entered his room. So she has her gun trained on him, and she's just looking at him, trying to look and read his face and see if he's looking at anything in the room specifically, as if he doesn't want us to look in that direction. She's looking for something hidden that he might be
roll a humint.
Given away. All right. Yeah, 33 under. It's definitely under, but my sheet is not loading.
Yeah, that's a crit. All right, so he...
80, 33 under 80.
And he's looking at you, and his eyes turn to you, and he just... I keep putting my hands up. He's sitting down, and he says, "Oh, well, I tell you my name. Who are you? Why do you come in like this? Why is he so angry?" And your human will tell you that his eyes are warily looking down the hallway at Roger. But other than that, he's not looking at anything in the room. He's looking down the hallway where Roger's going in a very wary way. And he's looking at you with these like pleading eyes. Why? Who are you?
This guy's full of shit.
We are looking for missing persons. We are with the police. We are asking for your corroboration and your cooperation. Nobody has to get hurt. We are simply doing our job, sir.
I am complying. I do nothing to stop the police.
Why do you keep looking down that hallway, sir? What's down that hallway? We are about to find it.
Because you are breaking into my apartment.
No, we're not breaking in, sir. We are searching. We have the proper search warrants.
I'd like to see your warrant, please.
I'd like to see some identification, please.
It's in the back room.
Is that where you're looking, sir?
Yes.
What's in the back room, sir?
Can I see the warrant, please?
No, you may not. What's in the back room, sir? Now you're an active threat.
I don't think active threat.
They're all guns
out. I don't see the warrant. I think you are lying. Is there a problem in the building?
I show him the FBI badge.
You pull out your badge that has your name on it.
Wait, I thought it had...
Your fake name.
Oh, yeah.
And he looks at it closely. Federal. And he can barely seem to read it. And Roger, you walk past a bathroom.
Open the door with the gun. Anybody in there? Shower.
No, nobody.
Keep going.
Shower by old school tub with just like a thing. You shoot a couple shots in the tub just for good measure. Pop, 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 pop. You guys hear gunshots from the bathroom. Bobby,
shoot through the shower curtain. Pop, pop, pop.
You continue down the hallway. There's just one more door, and it's closed. Closed.
Okay. Roger yells down, "We got a closed door down here. Got a closed door.
This is a private residence.
Shut up, old man."
Bobby will head over to Roger to back him up as he gets to the door.
Roger looks at Makeshift.
Bobby starts walking down the hallway towards Roger. This guy turns his gaze to Vicky, and it's just like, "How did you get in here?"
We entered through the door like everyone else.
Ah, but not like everyone else. Only certain people can get in the door. And Bobby comes walking down the hallway behind Roger, and you see it ends in what looks like a plain wooden door in the back of the hallway.
I'm going to say, how does Makeshift look? Does Makeshift look like he can handle this?
he's on edge. I'm like down to like, I don't know, I'm like 50. I'm like 10 points away from breaking point, I think.
All right, Roger, I'm assuming the door opens in.
It opens out. Like from you push it open, but it is locked if you're trying it.
Okay. Roger just takes a step back and kicks right at underneath the doorknob.
Boom. Ah! The old man jumps in the living room. Ah! That is a private room! And you walk in and you see a bedroom. Old school, antique white, ivory bureau, ivory dresser, and this old bed, 4-post bed. And there's, again, newspapers all over the place. In this room, there's pictures on the wall, black and whites, and it's all people that are not sort of outside. It's like, looks like families, family pictures. There's children, there's people of all ages. And there are strange... that's on one side. On the other side are pictures of like destroyed cities, like bombed out cities. And underneath them are these inscriptions that are written in hand. That there's one that says Downtown Tulip, and one that says Sovereign Carriage. Very strange, makes no sense. And these newspapers pile over everything. There's newspapers in the bed. Roger, as you come over, you lean over and you see there's a newspaper. It says October 3, 1927. There's a big bold headline. It says, Ruth, Baltimore's favorite son, leads Orioles over Yankees for 12th consecutive pennant.
What?
Seems very strange to you.
Roger doesn't like that one bit.
Roll a sanity check. Yeah. Roll a sanity check, Roger. Roger doesn't like that one bit.
That is a fail with a 93.
Oh, Jesus.
Okay.
That's crazy. Yeah, because Babe Ruth, he grew up in Baltimore, but I don't think there wasn't like the Orioles were a minor league team at that point in our history. So, wow. Okay. Skid us roll sanity check.
Yeah.
Bobby, you come into the room, Bobby, and you just look down, and across the bureau there's a newspaper, and it says October 4, 1957. USA shoots down Sputnik spy satellite! !
What the fuck?
You roll a sanity check for me.
Oh, God damn it.
And these all look like legit. These like New York Herald, New York Tribune, like they're like New York papers.
Huh.
Oh, Jesus. 84. 84 over 48. Oh, God.
Oh, no.
Okay. Don't take any damage until I tell you to. These are all just sort of gauging how this is affecting you. You don't see anything of danger. You don't see any weapons. But Roger, you do notice something on the bedside table that is unlike the newspapers that are piled around it. There's a newspaper on top, but underneath there seems to be a large book that is almost like a binding, almost with it filled with papers that look like all kind of crunkly and stuff, like a massive collection of papers. Book isn't really the right term because it looks like they're collected into a binder of some kind.
Like a scrapbook.
Kind of, yeah. And you just see that on the table. It definitely catches your attention.
Okay. Is there a closet in the room?
No.
Okay. Roger drops to the floor, looks under the bed real quick.
Drop to the floor, look under the bed, and you see a mirror under the bed. This looks like a wall mirror. Up. No, it's just laying flat and it's covered in dust. Almost as if like he was like storing it under the bed, but it's
the mirror side's facing up. It's not facing the floor.
Sorry. Yes, the mirror. That's how you knew it was a mirror. It's facing up.
Okay. Looks up at Bobby. Guy's got a mirror under here.
All right, pull it up. Let's take a look at it.
Okay. He stands up and he kind of uses his foot to drag it out as he goes towards this scrapbook to open it up. Check it out, makeshift.
All right. He goes to do that, and we'll go back out into the living room where this man says to Vicky, only a certain people can get in. Is this your first time in the night floors?
No.
Ah, see. It takes someone very special to find it. I see not why you have to be so angry. You have found it, and I can help you.
What was Darabandi doing with this building? Why create the night floors?
Darabandi is... Well, you created the night floors because they must be. They must. Without them, there is no place for anyone to live here.
You're talking about the tenants of the McAllister building? You're talking about the people that live in the building?
The tenants of the McAllister building. I take care of them. I make sure they get their apartments, their units are well cared for, and that they pay their rent. They do maintenance. It is my job. That is what I do.
Who do they pay the rent to?
Well, the rent goes to the superintendent, of course.
And who is the superintendent?
The superintendent.
What is the name of the superintendent is the question that I am asking, Mr. Henry.
Sorry, I do not understand your question. The superintendent is the superintendent. And he's looking at you like baffled. Roll humint.
Ah! Ooh, 17 under 80.
Nice.
Daggers. Eye daggers into his soul.
You see that this guy is not lying to you. He has no idea what you're saying. He doesn't understand what you mean. When you say, what is the name of the superintendent? I tell you his name. He's superintendent.
What floor are we on right now? The 12th? Are we on the 12th floor?
You are on the 4th floor now.
How do I get to the 12th floor?
Oh, there are many ways. But you can take the stairs or the elevator.
I look towards Neil.
Neil's still in the room. Yeah, what are you doing, Neil?
He silly says, like, your name wouldn't be Lundeen, would it?
Oh, no. My name is Castaigne.
Castaigne.
I said when you come in, Henri de Galvados Castaigne.
Yeah.
I have been a night manager for many, many years of the McAllister building. Let's go back into the back room. Bobby pulls out this mirror and sets it up. As you look into the mirror, Bobby, you see it's completely covered in dust, enough that it like blurs the reflection.
All right, so Bobby, I guess it looks around for a rag or anything to wipe down the mirror.
Yeah, you can just grab a towel that's nearby, like a hand towel that is crumpled up nearby. And as you wipe across the mirror where your eyes look, you just see a perfect reflection of your father's face in the mirror.
Oh, what the
Jesus Christ. Bobby takes a deep breath and just stares at it to make sure he's looking at what he thinks he's looking at.
And as you blink and take a breath, it goes away and it's just you.
Okay.
Roll a sanity check.
God, yeah. 48. 48. At 48. What does that mean? I rolled the 48.
That's
I have
a success.
That's a success. Oh, God.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh, God.
Barely.
Just barely.
Something's fucking with you here, Bobby.
Oh, God.
Okay. Roger goes to open this this binder full of pages. As you open it up, soon as the cover of it cracks, you hear the barking of a dog.
The dog.
It's the dog.
You hear the barking of a dog. It sounds like it's coming from another unit. Like it's like through some walls in a distance. And you hear and you crack this book open. The first thing that you see is just like handwriting that is minute, and it is filled with names and lines and dates that go back hundreds and hundreds of years. And as you start slowly pulling these crinkling pages back, you see that this is tracking some sort of descendancy through generations of what is handwritten in here as royal blood in America.
It's like the fucking Freemasons.
Yeah.
But instead of Jesus, it's Hester!
Yeah, it's like the Merovingian thing.
Yes. Uh-huh.
Wow.
And
All right,
you
so
see...
Do I see the first name? Like, do I see who it tracks back to?
Yeah, you can see the first name, but it is not something that you recognize or jumps out at you at all. It sounds vaguely European. And
King Steve.
King Steve. But it's not just one family. It's, you know what I mean? Like these pages open up to many different families, and they're all sort of like connected in these strange ways that you couldn't possibly decipher without looking at this for a long time. But you do see the name Henri de Calvados Castaigne as a descendant of one of these families.
Huh.
And it's like circled like really heavy.
It's a makeshift. He's of the blood.
What is it? Whose blood?
Don't worry about it. Slams the book shut. Bobby, or makeshift.
Yeah.
Let me search
Yes.
this room. Just do a actual search roll in here. I'm asking you
Search.
to search as well because mine
All right.
sucks.
Yeah, my search is not
Yeah, I
great.
feel.
I got 34. 34 under 42. Yeah.
That is all that you find of interest or value in here, and it's yeah, sorry, I forgot to say, as you turn that first page written at the top, there is a title to it, and it says The Imperial Dynasty of America.
Imperial Dynasty of America.
Roger takes the book under his arm, comes down the hallway.
Oh,
This is what you didn't want me to see?
no! That is private.
Don't
That
you
is
raise your
my-
voice at me.
No, that is my private property. And he looks desperately at you, Vicky, and he's like, you will not have a warrant. You will come in and steal my property. No, I will not allow it.
Roger, what is that?
First of all,
I don't know your name.
Messiah.
Messiah. I don't call you Roger. Messiah.
This is
What
a
is that?
family. This is some sort of family tree. Traces the ancestral bloodline of America, and this asshole is a part of it.
That
I
is
don't know what
right.
it is.
That is right. It is mine, my right, my family. And he's like sort of like getting like hysterical. And he starts to stand up out of the chair.
Sit down.
And he starts to try to grab it. The crown is mine! The crown is mine!
He puts the book up on the guy's chest and then punches the book so he falls back.
Roger, how hard did you hit him?
Hard enough that he'd fall, not hard enough to kill him.
Not to break his ribs and sternum
Right,
and
just like-
puncture both of his
That's-
lungs,
that's why the book
collapse
was
his
there.
heart cavity.
That's why the book was there.
Slam
Kind
his
of
chest.
face
Just
into
like,
a fireplace.
Roger's fist goes through the book, busts out the other side.
Like bloody pages, shards and scraps of paper
Dear
flying out
God.
the other side.
And he goes back down onto the chair. No, please.
Sit on your throne, your majesty.
All right, Bobby.
What the fuck is going on in this place?
And he starts to stand up again to try to grab the book.
All right, Bobby.
Mr.
Says,
Chastain.
Leave
Mr.
it.
Chastain.
Tell him to give me my book. Tell him to
Listen.
give it to me.
Listen. We're not going to take your belongings. That's not why we're here. These night floors should not exist. You said yourself, only certain people can enter them, and we have a problem. We are looking for a missing person. You know her. She is a tenant of yours. Her name is Abigail Wright, and she lives, I believe, on the 12th floor. Am I correct?
I'll not answer any of your questions until I get my book back.
You will cooperate with us, or we will find out for ourselves. You
I
already
can-
told me how to get there, the stairs or the elevator, and we will take all of the personal belongings that we need to finish our investigation. Or you can cooperate.
There
and the
is
agent will
nothing
give you a
of
book back.
Abigail Wright in that book. Nothing of Abigail Wright. This is
Roger opens the book
wrong.
and goes to rip a page. I'll start ripping
No,
pages
no!
if you don't shut up. Start talking. Start talking. Start talking. Fucking page out.
Abigail Wright. She once lived on the lower floors, but move up, yes,
Why?
to 12. Because she was ready.
For
She
what?
moved with the salesman. They lived together on the 12.
Why do people go to the night floors, Henri?
Go to the night floors. They are in the night floors.
Move to the night floors. Why?
What do you mean ready?
Because they can. I don't understand your language.
what are
It
the
makes
night
no
floors?
sense.
Why do the night floors exist? What are they for?
Why does anything exist?
Abigail's dead.
Abigail is dead. She had just paid her rent last month.
All right. We know
I
she's
know
still
nothing
alive.
about this. She was alive. I'm sure she is alive. I would hear. I am a night manager. I would hear if she had died.
Good.
Where is Darabandi?
Darabandi is in the hotel.
What? This is the hotel. Didn't this used to be the hotel?
Where is the hotel?
The hotel is in Midtown, Madison Square Park.
Oh shit, we can go outside and there's like a fucking whole other universe.
Yeah,
here.
maybe
Oh
we're in
my
the maybe we were in
God.
the
The
other,
the hotel brought Albin, right?
Yes, of course.
How many other buildings are there that Darabandi is part of?
I only work at the McAllister building.
Is there a way out of the night floors?
Oh, if you are ready to leave, you can leave. You can leave the building, but you must be ready.
What do you mean?
What do you mean? Give me my book.
Stop it.
Oh,
Back up.
don't rip it.
I'll rip it.
There is only one copy. Please, I beg you.
You better answer us truthfully then.
I have told no lies, not since you come in. I am not by nature a deceptive person. I am very open.
Who's your boss?
The superintendent.
And where can we find this superintendent?
He lives upstairs.
He lives upstairs.
On the 5th floor, on the 6th floor, on the 7th floor. Be specific.
Well, he lives where he wants to live. I think, could be you wish to speak with him. You could find him on 10, the grand ballroom. He has a party tonight.
Party in the grand ballroom.
A party in the grand ballroom tonight, yes.
Party in the grand ballroom.
Do you need
Neil
an invitation?
takes another picture.
Oh! What is that?
It's flash photography.
In your own hand?
Yes. You may not like it, but your kids are going to love it.
Where did the light come from? It burned my eyes.
Let me ask you something, Henry. Who is the president of the United States right now? I'm afraid I don't remember.
Oh, you
I have
remember
not
the
much
president.
need for the president of the United States. It is foolish.
For a guy that's got every newspaper that's ever been released, it seems strange to me that you don't know the sitting president of the country you live in. Maybe if I start ripping pages, it'll jog your memory.
No, please, no,
President.
things come and go.
Yeah.
Dewey, maybe. Dewey. Yes, that is it.
Dewey.
Please, don't
Dewey.
rip at the page. My mind is not what it used to be.
Would be
John Dewey. Or are we talking about an alternate universe here?
Like
where
Eisenhower.
Dewey B.
46.
Truman.
this would
Dewey
be
B. Truman.
1946, yeah.
Holy crap.
So,
Sometime between 1946 and after 1946.
please, I tell you everything I know. I help you. If you need a place to stay, I could help you. Do you want to stay in the building?
No.
No.
Oh,
Building.
It's a nightmare.
Your building sucks.
that is rather rude.
What are you
Doesn't
going to
know
do?
what the word means in this context.
I can only do my best to keep it nice.
Your best isn't good enough, and I want you to remember that for the rest of your life. Now listen. How do we just leave here, take this information, and expect you won't go talking to the superintendent or any of your other weird friends?
I stay in my apartment unless I am called for a leak.
You fix
I don't go to party. I don't like it. I prefer to stay home.
So we need to go see the superintendent's party.
I feel like we have to go to the party.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think I'd like to go to this party.
What's the dress
How
code?
do we get into the party? What's the dress code and do you need an invitation?
You need an invitation.
All right, give me yours.
I don't have one. I am not invited.
What?
You're not invited? You're the night manager.
That's extremely rude.
I don't have any desire to go. The superintendent, you know.
You should send one at least as a courtesy.
Yeah, it seems inappropriate not to just send one.
Well, I'm sorry to disappoint you. I don't have one. If you wish to see the superintendent, you can find him out at the party. If you want to go to the party, you need an invitation.
How do we get an invitation?
I don't know.
You're so old. You're so goddamn old.
You are. You need to do something about that. Really. It's out
Wow.
of control.
God.
Well,
Can I please have my book?
you're not
Please.
getting your book back.
No.
The book is
Please.
our collateral that you keep your mouth shut. The other option is I beat you to death with this book and bury you with it so you can have your precious book in whatever afterlife this world has.
When does the party start for the
He settles
superintendent?
back down into the chair and he just starts crying.
Broke him
Say
aside.
no more good.
Messiah.
I'll change the world,
Messiah.
say no more
Just give him the book.
Steven, we don't need the book. In fact, we
Suffice,
probably,
last summer, like, she, some more.
He starts
probably-
mumbling in another language and like getting irritated, but like he's not looking at you.
I don't think we should take the book out from here.
I just think this book is really important to him. In a bad way.
Let's keep it. Let's go see the superintendent's party. Let's see if that might be the invitation we need.
The book.
The book.
The book is not an invitation. It is only mine, please.
Why is this book so important to you?
Because it shows that I am to be king. It shows the line of royalty, of descendancy.
King of what?
King of what?
King of America.
King of America.
Or Emperor, whatever you prefer is really not... we don't need to do split hairs.
Sorry. Last time I checked, America's not a monarchy. We're not an oligarchy. We're a democracy.
And that is how they have you fooled. It is no democracy. It is run by those who descended from the blood. And I should be there. They will find out when I can. When I am ready.
He just seems like kind of senile and babbling.
Just give him the fucking book.
He takes the book and he slams it on his knees.
Oh,
And he says,
I'm going to piss blood for a week.
you will never sit on the American throne.
It's awesome, but a very weird sentence to say.
You'll never sit.
Can we just clip that, please?
We don't have a throne.
You will never sit on the American throne. And his hands just start shaking as he puts his hand around the book, and he's just looking down and mumbling. You've done a really good job of beating this old man into submission, both mentally and physically. You have broken his spirit. Yes, that's the vibe that you get. Hey, you got an 80 Hugh Mint, Vicky? You know, you did a really good job of beating the shit out of this old man. He's got no fight left in him. Don't worry.
Everyone here is evil.
Got no
Feel the need to say it again. Everyone here is evil.
I'm not going to pity a single person in this universe.
Living in the ninth floors. How dare they?
I'm just like so confused about what the fuck is even happening though.
Yeah,
Like,
where are we?
Yeah.
Why is he living there?
and what is the point? Like, what is they're getting money for rent from people who move to the night floors? Like, what is happening? Why?
You can't move up until they're ready. You can't,
can't
leave
leave.
until you're ready. I think we could walk outside and it's like some alternate universe New York City.
Yeah.
And the Hotel Broad Albion exists here, whereas it doesn't in our Madison Square Park.
All right, we huddle up, ignoring this old man.
Okay.
What do we do? Do we go to the ballroom? Do we leave? What do we do?
If this guy says Dewey is the president, there's something wholly unnatural happening right now. I mean, first of all, it's 1940 something, and second of all, the president should be Harry Truman, not Dewey. I don't know what to make of any of this.
What time is it? I checked my watch.
Your watch says that it is 9:02 p.m.
Okay, so the party is probably starting soon.
If we can't even go back the way we came, we have to find out what's going on at this party. If we have any chance of getting out of here.
Only way out is through.
What was that?
I said the only way out is through.
Is that why you led us here, Neil? What's going on? What?
No. But I do think we should go to this party.
Well, now, are you okay?
Yeah, no, I'm fine.
What if we get made there? What if they know that we don't belong?
Who's to say that we don't?
For now.
You're really creeping me out, man.
All right. We'll go to the party. Whips back at the old man. Let me tell you something, Chief. If you ever breathe a word about us coming in here, breaking into your room, reading your little book, you will never see that book again. And you will have no proof of your ties to the line.
Roll a persuade.
Mm.
Give yourself a plus 20%.
Ooh.
Ooh.
$30 under 40.
Nice.
Nice.
Ooh.
He looks properly fearful. He's just his hands shaking on the edge of the book, and he's just looking down and mumbling in another language.
Hey, if you stay cool, I may even vote for you in the next king election.
This is a
Wait, can we-
canistry elective position.
Can we identify what language Unri is speaking? Has that been clarified yet?
Is it Italian or is it some weird?
Is it just like yeah,
Alternate universe.
alternate universe, like yeah, Esperanto language? Is it? I have languages. I have foreign languages and other skills. Can I roll to find out what it is, or is that?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Hold on.
Just give me an intelligence roll with the
Intelligence
language
roll.
intelligence times 5.
Okay, I got an 11.
The fact that
under
you're
60.
trained in a bunch of other languages.
11 under 60.
11 under 60.
Crit.
Yeah.
Wow.
Crit.
With a crit, Francis,
Oh.
you suspect that this language may have words similar to the book that you very briefly looked through, the English to Tartesian dictionary,
Oh.
and that he may be speaking Tartesian.
Oh.
Ah.
Tartesian.
Wow.
A language known to be extinct since the Iron Age.
Yeah.
Whoa.
It's an Iberian language, right?
You know what, Bobby? Go ahead and give me a little sanity roll there.
Oh,
Smarty
Christ.
pants.
Oh,
Must
God
need to
damn
be
it.
so
I should have
smart
never
all the
asked.
time.
Should have kept my mouth shut. Oh, God, that's 69. 69.
Nice.
Wait, are we doing sanity? 69.
Wow.
Oh, yeah, 69 over 48.
Sid is fully acclimated.
Welcome,
Nice.
Sid. Welcome.
Nice.
69 over 48. I'm losing it.
Okay. What next?
Neil goes out. He wants to try to find the elevator.
Neil walks out the door and back out into the hallway. Let me just boop-a-doo, because, as soon as you open that door again, you hear drifting down the comforting sounds, or maybe not so comforting sounds, of the lounge.
Definitely not comforting.
Hey, come on, Neil.
Do we hear the dog again? We still hear the dog?
Have a drink. Yes. Off to your right. So as you walk out the door, let's put this right, I believe. Yeah, it should be on your right side when you walk in. So maybe I said left. I don't remember, but let's just put it on the right side of the room. So as you walk out the door, to your left is the lounge. To your right, it continues down, and you see an opening that may be elevators, like a little bit down the hallway.
All right. Yeah, I start walking. Neil starts walking that way.
Okay. Neil walks out the door and begins heading down toward the elevator. Go ahead and give me a sanity roll. Hold on a second. I need to be very clear with everybody. So where is everybody? What's everybody doing? Are they just following Neil?
I think we should stay together.
Yeah, we definitely stay together.
Yeah.
And if Neil has this urge to go, we're gonna follow. I mean, he took us this far.
Yeah, I will linger at the door for the longest time, just staring at the old man.
And he's not looking at you. He's looking down at the book and just sort of like petting it, massaging it with his shaking fingers. Neil, what did you get for a sanity check?
12 under 56.
Okay. And as you're walking toward the opening in the middle of the hall, you get there and you see that it opens out, just gets into a wider place where totally looks like an elevator bank, but there's no elevators in there. It just happens to be kind of like a passing through sitting room kind of. And it's open a little wider than the hallway. And there's just there's like 2 chairs in the corner and a little table, and like 2 chairs in another corner and a little table. And then there's these pictures all around this room that are all black and white photos that are framed and up there as, look like decoration, like hallway decoration in the building. And as you look at them, as you pass through into these rooms, you see that the people in them look to be, they look like classic pictures from like a hotel in like the 1920s or the 1930s, right? Like everybody's dressed in that garb, and they're dressed nicely, suits and dresses and stuff like that. And you see in all of the pictures, it's typically 1 or 2 people, and they are staring blankly at the photographer, and all of them are holding in their hand a bottle. And sometimes it's kind of like a beer bottle, sometimes it's like a wine bottle, but in either case, it's just a plain bottle, and they're just staring. And then there's names written on plaques under the pictures. In one, you see A. Darabandi. And in another one, you see J. Linz, Linz. H. Lundeen. All holding these bottles. As you get to the end of that room, passing through these names, and there's more on the other side too, names you haven't seen, but you see the pictures. On the last one at the end, it's just a picture of a bottle sitting on the floor. And underneath, there's no person, just the bottle, and underneath on the little like descriptive thing, it says N. Bowman. I'm sorry, Bachman. N. Bachman.
God.
Oh, that's way worse.
Oh, Jesus.
Really screwed up that reveal. N. Bachman.
Oh, God.
Wait, N.
So much
Neil?
worse than
Neil.
Bowman.
You see your own name that none of the other agents in this crew know, that you know, and you see no person and just a bottle. Roll a sanity check. Roll a sanity check.
Oh,
He's
this
done.
is. I shouldn't have even made that. 14 under 56.
Oh, wow.
14. Okay.
Yeah.
He's holding it together.
Yeah. How are you holding it together? What is
I think
happening in
he's
his mind?
I think he's like so given over to the idea of this at this point that he's just we were talking about psychedelics earlier. This is almost like when you take like mushrooms or peyote, and it's like you just give yourself over to the trip. I think that's maybe kind of what's happening to him right now. You know?
That makes sense. Yeah.
Like he's just committed to the idea of like this is not reality anymore. This is a different flavor of reality.
Yeah. Okay, and now filing in behind you is the rest of the crew. They're all walking in, and this hallway then it gets narrow again and continues.
I keep going. I grab snapshots of some of these pictures, especially the one with my name on it, the bottle. And the bottle is just plain?
Yeah, it's a plain, like, brown bottle.
Okay. Yeah, I keep going.
So you snap pictures of all this, and the rest of you walk in, and you see the same thing. You see all of these pictures of people holding bottles, and then you see a bottle, and it says N. Bachman.
But we don't know
it.
We don't know his name.
But it is the only picture without a person in it.
Where did we hear about Lundeen?
He filed for the permit.
Yeah.
It was his building. He was the owner, the original owner of the building.
The Abigail's building.
Yeah, the McAllister building.
Yeah, this one.
Okay. Oh, so even he referred to it as the McAllister building.
Yeah, and Lintz, we don't know that name, but
Yeah, that's a new
You
one.
don't know that name, and if you look on the other side, there's other names too. E. Mosby, D. Carver on the other side of the room. G. Topchick, bunch of names. I can give them to you.
do we see Castaigne's name?
No, but you
No.
do see Darabandi, Vicky, and
Yeah.
it's a picture of him, and you recognize him from the pictures that you guys researched at the library. He's holding a bottle.
The bottle. And he's
Roger.
with someone?
No, he's by himself.
Roger sidles up to Vicky, or to Maybelline. This motherfucker.
I'm trying to piece together. I'm thinking about the kids, and I mean, is this guy kidnapping people? And now with the book, the lineage, like, are they some sort of like Aryan-esque race? They're trying to create a society of people.
Well, think about what the old man said. He said something to the effect of, they'll listen, they'll know the truth. Leads me to believe that whoever is the king took the job by force. Maybe there's a new king in town. Maybe Darabandi was involved with sacrificing these children as part of the deal. I don't know.
Okay, as you're talking, you hear a sudden coming from behind you, where you
Turn
just
around.
were.
Roger slides the gun in his, like, right where his wiener is.
I was like, I wonder where he's going with this.
Is that a gun in your wiener, or
Right where his wiener is. Really?
Like a cop. And that's what
Like
they
a
say on the
classic
force.
cop. Like they say.
Classic
on the force.
cop.
Put the gun
Stick
where
that in
your
your
wiener
wiener.
is, officer. Stick the gun in your wiener hole, officer.
You hear
You're a
this.
cop now.
You hear this. And you turn, and coming from the lounge, which you can still see is pretty far away now. I mean, it's like 80, 90 feet down. You see the lounge. You see a man is dressed like to the nines, tuxedo, and slicked back black hair parted right down the center. But he's very far away. It's just a small, slight figure, and he's holding something in his hand. It looks like a tray, like a small tray, and he just starts walking toward you down the hallway. And he's just like very upright, very stiff, and just walking toward you.
We've got guns up, right? We're still
No.
we're still good.
My gun
Roger,
is-
Roger has concealed his gun near the wiener.
I
Wiener.
He looks to makeshift and Maybelline and Mrema. Wieners.
I conceal
Bobby
my
reached
gun
for
in
his
its
wiener.
holster, which is on my belt beneath my blazer, the normal place where I put my gun because I'm a professional.
Under your genitals.
This guy just comes walking up, and as he gets closer, you see a little mustache, buttoned up. I mean, like bow tie, crisp white collar shooting down, black dinner jacket, white gloves, towel over his forearm, holding a tray, and everything about this just gives off vibes to you of like butler's hors d'oeuvre service. Like that's what it looks like. And he just comes walking up and is like, and holds out this tray. He walks right up to you. You can see his kind of pale skin, his reddish pink lips, and he's got almost looks like he has a little bit of like eyeliner on, maybe, or it might be natural. And he holds out this tray to you and offers like his towel as like a napkin.
What is on the tray?
You see a bunch of little like gelatinous cubes on the tray. They're like a yellowish color.
Vicky does like a no sign. She doesn't want to speak.
No, absolutely not.
And he's speaking in some other language. Ichi?
Can I decipher what language it is?
Be? And he hands it out to you, Bobby, as you're staring at him like...
No. Thank you.
Go ahead and roll an intelligence times 5.
Oh, okay. Ooh, 27. 27 under 60.
You don't recognize the language.
Okay.
And all of you just give him like a head shake.
Yeah, Roger sees that thing floating there, and it flashes back to being at that party with Norma, where Norma was like holding out a pill to him. And so he's just like,
Okay. Everybody go ahead and give me a quick search roll.
Ooh, 12.
98.
Wow, 53, and I hit my 53 search.
Wow.
Nice.
37 under 41 for Neil.
Okay.
Nice.
So 3 of you guys notice that. I just wanted to say, like, what you're looking at, what you're seeing, like Roger's just like, no chance. Also because it's yellow and the pill that she offered was yellow. Kind of weirds Roger out a little bit, but you guys see these little gelatinous cubes, and there seems to be a small insect inside of them.
Oh, man.
You notice this little treat.
No.
Oh, and he just like nods his head, like kind of in a universal sign of, okay, idiots, you're missing out. And then walks past you in the way that you were going to go through that room. And you see the tail of his tuxedo like hanging out behind him. And he just walks. And then he comes up, and there's a T intersection at the end of the hallway. And he just turns right and disappears down the hallway.
All I wanted to do was break that guy's neck and wear his clothing. Just
Like- Bet.
Took all my power not to. But if we see 4 of those people, they're not going to see tomorrow.
They're all getting knocked out and declothed.
About just a matter of seconds after he turns right down the hallway, you all see 2 men in suits go running past the T intersection. The way that guy
him?
turned right to left, no, like the way from the way that he came.
Opposite
way that he walked, opposite way. So he walked to the right, they're coming from the right to left, 2 men in suits. And they run by.
Right.
Bobby starts feeling his heart go.
Yeah.
Couple seconds later, 3 men in gas masks run by.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
We need to see what's going on.
And then you just hear bang, 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 bang.
This is the exact same
Gunfire.
scenario.
Yeah.
Gun still on the wieners after the gunfire?
Yes.
Nope.
No.
Wieners
Right
are
out the
out.
wiener.
Wieners are out.
Cold.
Wieners out.
Wieners are out.
What I got confused there.
Let's run after them, yeah?
Yeah, I'm gonna
Yeah.
start.
Yeah,
moving
we're at a trot now.
towards the
We're
T
running.
intersection.
Okay. You start walking up. Who is in the lead here? Oh, wait, let me just... I got to fade this out because as you walk out of that room with the pictures and the bottles, the music from the lounge no longer reaches you, and it fades away. and it's replaced by suspenseful underscore. No, you no longer hear that party music coming. As soon as that waiter left, it's like the music sort of died with him. And then right from where he just was.
Yeah, Bobby bolts. As soon as he sees that, he bolts right after him. I guess so. All right,
so Bobby starts running up the corridor. None of you guys are like expecting this. Like you don't know what Bobby knows about this situation. So let me go first.
Oh yeah, was Bobby the only one that saw the gas mask?
Bobby was the only one that saw it the first time. You guys heard the gunshots, but you were in a room examining it at the time. Bobby's the only one who has seen this.
Right, shitting his pants right now.
Shitting his pants. Bobby starts moving, and we see him walking up. Is your gun out?
Yes, fully. Yes.
Okay. It feels different than the dream. It feels more real than the dream. There's a smell in the air. You can smell like Roger's sweat. You can smell like the environment of the hallway. And you pull your gun out and it just comes out. You don't have to like roll a willpower check or a power check. You just pull it out. Gun out, you start moving up the hallway to the T intersection. What's everybody behind him doing? Roger, what are you doing? Quick.
I'm staying very close to Bobby. I don't think, or to Makeshift. I don't think he should be in the front.
Gun out or not out? Gun out. Okay, Neil, where are you?
I'm Neil. Like he saw this. He saw Makeshift break for it, and he's going to follow at a hustle but not at a full run. His camera.
Okay, so he just starts picking up his pace a little bit. And what about Vicky?
I think Vicky is the last to react, only because she purposefully wants to take up the rear and keep an eye behind her, because that waiter like came out of nowhere and the floors are very confusing. So she is running after everybody, but with her gun out, slowly, kind of like every so often turning around, making sure, like looking back, running ahead, kind of taking up the caboose, keeping an eye.
Okay. Okay. Bobby, you come up to the intersection. Again, your heart is racing. It's like this all feels so real to you. As you come up, doom, 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 doom. You look to the left around the corner. And sure enough, you see two bodies laying some distance away on the ground.
Oh, Jesus. Bobby has a flashback to the scene with the two bodies from before and the whatever it was, tape or like red tape coming out of their bodies. Can he see if there's the blood, if there is blood, or if it's what's around them? Is there anything you can see? Yeah,
you get to the edge of the hall, and remember, you're looking just left. So it's the T intersection. So the waiter went right. This is to your left. Pause and look around to the left. You're just peeking. They're a little too far away for you to be able to tell from here. Maybe 20, 30 feet away, you just see the crumpled bodies. You're not noticing like red tissue paper like you saw in your dream.
Jesus, okay. Bobby's really thinking about it. He is frightened out of his fucking mind, and his gun is drawn. He looks to Messiah. He can't move. He can't go closer. He doesn't want to see. Bobby's frozen.
Hand on Makeshift's shoulder as if to say, "It's all right, wimp." Pushes past Makeshift, gun like pointed down at the ground, and slowly walks towards the bodies, trying to see is there any breathing as I'm getting closer.
Roll a search. Yes.
How about awareness?
Okay, sure. I would say because that would represent danger in your mind. That's fine.
Alertness, I should say. Failed. 89 over 80.
Oh, goddamn.
Oh no.
Well, mark your. Don't forget to mark your little one.
Right.
Thank you.
You don't get the sense that there's any danger here.
You should touch them.
You seem to have come to a crime scene after the crime has been committed.
Kiss
them.
them.
I'll continue walking up to the bodies, And as I get to the closest one, I'll like nudge their groin with my foot. Because that's how we were taught to do it in the U.S. Army. Just like nuzzles the top of his foot there.
As you get up close and touch the foot, you pull up a little bit of the pant leg, and you see that the joint, the lower joint, where the leg meets the foot and at the ankle, is some sort of clockwork mechanism.
Oh,
Fuck.
what the fuck?
Fuck. They are mannequins. God damn
All right, I'll try to like full flip the body over with my leg to see the face.
You full flip the body over with your leg, and you see it's a marionette.
Oh my god.
Oh my god.
Jesus Christ.
And you can see its joints are clockwork.
Like a mechanism, but the mechanism is not moving anymore.
Correct.
They're
It's all
dead.
still up, and you see red tissue paper spilling out of them.
Oh, shit.
like you're in some sort of play.
Search the bodies, like taking time here to really dig, so I don't have to
Yep.
roll.
You go in to search the bodies, and you find a
Invitation.
wallet.
Okay.
You pull out a wallet and open it up, and you see an identification card inside. It says Eric K. Carter, and you see a picture of a person. Does not look like a marionette, like a regular person's picture. It says Eric K. Carter. It is a New York identification card that is issued to veterans of the military. It's a military identification card for New York State.
Was Eric Carter one of the names we saw in the other room? E. Carter?
Nope.
Okay.
D. Carver.
D. Carver.
D. Carver. This is Eric K. Carter, and you see that the license was issued in 1947.
1947. So we're
Yeah, and expires. And oh wait, I'm sorry. Issued in 1953.
Oh.
53. So that would track with, well, I mean, if it's Dewey, if the president's Dewey, it's sometime after, like late.
be.
As you
40s,
keep looking,
You could have a second term.
Yeah, right.
as you keep opening the wallet, you see there's cash in it, like actual cash, and
the
you see a
president on the $1 bill.
I actually don't know.
Scooby-Doo.
I would assume it's George Washington. And you open the
Aaron Burr.
and you see there's old school New York City bus passes in there as well.
Oh, wow.
Old school New York City.
Same
bus.
thing with the other one. You go through the other one, you pull it out, there's a wallet. Open it up, and there's a military identification card. It says Ronald Berkman. Issued 1955.
Wait,
What's up, Francis?
Ronald Berkman sounds familiar. Why does that sound familiar?
Sorry, I got it wrong again. Burbank, not Berkman. Burbank.
Ronald Burbank, okay.
Robert Burbank.
Burbank.
Okay. So there were two people that ran in suits. We assume that these are these two people, and the other people with gas masks are the one that killed them.
Shot
And
them in this
but those
play.
people aren't here at all.
Have you looked around?
Well, I'm looking like
When you pass them, past the two dead bodies, no, you don't see the perpetrators running.
Okay, and the only other time we've seen this was in a dream, right? Well, we saw people running when the first time we went to Night Floors, but didn't someone in a dream see them, the ticker tape?
Yeah.
Francis did.
Yeah, Bobby
Okay.
did.
Bobby
Yeah.
did, but he saw something slightly different in the identifications. But yeah, everything else very similar.
Yeah.
But
Do I see anything? Because Vicky's at the back. So
Vicky, you're at the back, and you hear more than see, because your focus is like all on this. It's on Bobby and Roger and backing them up. But you're in the back, and that's enough for you to hear mumbling. You hear, I So you hear what sounds like a man's voice behind you.
I whip around, gun in hand.
You whip around, gun in hand, and you see a ways down this hallway where the waiter turned into this hallway. A ways down this hallway where there's doors on either side. You see what looks like a hospital bed and a lump, like a body, on the hospital bed in the middle of the hallway. And the sound of the mumbling seems to be coming from this body that's on this hospital bed in the middle of the hallway. Covered in a sheet.
She's walking toward that.
She starts to walk toward it, slowly, gun out. And you start to be able to make out the sound. The language is not foreign this time. In fact, you hear, because there's no better chance to break through. You can just kind of hear it in the background. Millions of chances. Every day. Sing, dance, perform, and you're getting closer. And you see that this body is breathing and alive, like a patient on a hospital bed. You can see sheets covering him. You can tell it's a man's voice, and you see that it's not covering his face. You can't see his face yet. You're still a little far away. You just see his feet. But you hear, cash your paycheck, grab a ticket to the ball game, as if this person is talking to himself. Call your friends. Have a barbecue. Buy a building. Sell an idea. And you're getting closer now, and you can see a full flesh and blood person, not a marionette. And you can see that there seems to be straps around this bed, as if this person is being like detained on this bed. Maybe for their own safety or something like that, right? Like a patient who might harm themselves.
Restrained.
Arm strapped down, restrained under this sheet. You hear, it's all the same. A show, a delusion. Millions thinking they make choices and that their choices matter. But they don't. And there's something eerie about the voice, something that is really bothering you about its how like sane it seems, right? How like it's like an accent, like a New York accent almost. It's like very regular compared to everything that you've seen in here.
Is the face covered by the sheet? Like the whole body is covered?
No, the face is not covered. And as you come up closer, you see that this is a young looking man, 30s, 40s, white guy, brown hair, looking up at the ceiling, doesn't seem to notice. And he says, if they stop pretending, they'll die. New York City. And then he kind of smiles. That's where it started. Or where it ended. Or where it always was. And as he's saying this, you start to come into view, and his eyes snap down to you and widen. And he sees you, and he's like restrained in this bed. And he's just like, who the hell are you?
Who the hell are you?
And he looks around like warily. And he starts to breathe fast. Where? You don't look like them. Where'd you come from?
Like a puppet? Like a marionette?
Yeah. Where'd you come from?
I'm not from the night floors. What's your name?
Where are you from?
I'm from Brooklyn.
You're from Brooklyn?
Yeah.
He looks around. Looking at you the way you're dressed, he starts to put some things together. You can see recognition in his eyes. This guy looks like the most normal thing that you've seen so far, even though it's kind of in this weird situation. He's like, Are you with the program?
No, I don't know.
Delta Green. Are you with Delta Green?
Holy shit.
He's like super tense, looking at you, like fear in his eyes, hope maybe in his eyes. You're human, telling you.
She's so like stunned at the mention of Delta Green. Like, this is the last fucking thing. It's the weirdest thing almost out of everything that's happened.
Seriously.
And she just like blinks slowly twice and just kind of tilts her head up and down.
And his eyes widen and he starts to like hyperventilate. And he's like, my name is Michael Whitwer. I'm a DEA agent. I was sent into, and he starts to like scream. And he's like, help me, help me. And he starts, and his body starts to like convulse in on itself. And all of a sudden, right at your feet, right around where he's sitting, this white light shines up out from underneath the bed. And it like breaks you off from him for a second. And he starts to go, no, 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 no. And just starts to like, the bed starts to crush and crumble and get pulled into the floor. And he's like, oh no, screaming, horrible, blood-curdling as his body is ripped and broken down into the floor below. And then suddenly it gets quiet and you don't hear him, but the hole is there. A strange glow still coming up from it.
Vicky almost like fell backward when the light came up, like just like so shocked, stumbled backward, maybe even fell, maybe even like tripped backward and fell. And she is on the ground and she so slowly tries to peer into the hole.
You look over into the hole and you see down a long distance, maybe 50 feet, 60 feet, almost looks like a well, and it's just white light surrounding all edges of it. But at the bottom, the white light suddenly changes as a face in a white porcelain mask looks up at you. And we'll see you next time.
What is happening? Where are we
Sydney's face.
in time?
I'm trying to like write down the notes and I'm like,
My notes look like crazy person's notes.
mine
It's
looks
just like-
insane.
Wieners out.
Wieners out, everybody.
Wieners are
Vicky
totally
yells
out.
back, Wieners out!
Wieners are out.
Good night, everybody. Bye.
Uh,
Oh.